2023 Board of Public Works and Safety meeting. Roll call, please. Here?
Here.
Here. Are there any conflict of interest statements?
Nope.
No, sir.
Approval of the minutes of the meeting of October 19th, 2023.
Motion to approve those minutes.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Bid openings.
Mr. President,
Mr. Button?
I have a quote to open for you today. This is at the request of the Chief of Staff and the Director of the Hammond Housing Authority. They requested that the parking lot, which is dedicated as right-of-way at the Hubert Humphrey Building, be seal-coated. So I requested quotes from 3 contractors, and we received 2 today, and asked that you would open and read aloud the quotes, please.
Okay. The first one is from Site Services, and that's in Highland, Indiana. And their quote is $8,775. $8,775, and again, that's from Site Services from Highland, Indiana. The second one is from Milestone North Contractors out of Griffith, Indiana. And Milestone's letter states that they would like to respectfully decline bidding on this project. Again, that's Milestone saying that they respectfully decline bidding on this project.
Thank you. If you could refer these to engineering for recommendation, I would appreciate it.
Motion to refer the
Quotes.
previous 2 bids quotes to engineering for recommendation.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Number 6, matters from other department heads or their representatives. Anybody? Moving on to correspondence, letter A, correspondence received from Jeffrey Smith, Fire Chief, the promotions of probationary firefighters David Hansen, Stephen Villa, Vuk Jovanovic to private firefighters retroactive to October 2nd, 2023, the promotion of probationary officer Keegan Rook to private, firefighter Keegan Rook to private firefighter retroactive to October 17th, 2023, and the following promotions and reassignments. EMT 1P Matthew Matz reassigned to the rank of private P retroactive October 25th, 2023. EMT 2 Stephen Tepper reassigned to the rank of private P retroactive to October 24th, 2023. EMT 2P Jacqueline Seeberger promoted to the rank of EMT 1P retroactive October 23rd, 2023. Private P David Hansen promoted to the rank of EMT 2P retroactive October 23rd, 2023. Private P Stephen Villa promoted to the rank of EMT 2P retroactive to October 25th, 2023. And Private P Vuk Jovanovic promoted to the rank of EMT 2P retroactive to October 25th, 2023.
Motion to approve the correspondence as submitted.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter B, correspondence received from William Short, Chief of Police, requesting the approval of the following officers which were promoted to the following ranks. Boise Coulter was promoted from Master Sergeant to Lieutenant. Thomas Dillner was promoted from Sergeant to Master Sergeant. Mark Ferry was promoted from Sergeant to Lieutenant. Christopher Godey was promoted from Sergeant to Lieutenant. David Horniak was promoted from First Class Patrolman to Sergeant. Paul Maldonado promoted from Sergeant to Captain. Keith Market was promoted from Sergeant to Lieutenant. Kelly Mickey was promoted from Sergeant to Lieutenant. Gregory McGee was promoted from First Class Patrolman to Sergeant. Susan Prusen was promoted from Sergeant to Lieutenant. Richard Ray was promoted from Sergeant to Master Sergeant. And Thomas Strabovy was promoted from Lieutenant to Captain, all effective October 26, 2023.
Motion to approve the correspondence as submitted.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter C, correspondence received requesting speed bumps on the 6600 block of Marshall Avenue.
City's policy is not to install speed bumps. We recommend declining this request.
Motion to deny the speed bump request.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Number 8, matters from the board members.
No, sir.
Anything? Okay, moving on. Number 9, new business. Letter A, order to rescind, order to demolish for property located at 228 Condit Street, submitted for approval.
Mr. Luter has recommended that this property, due to its repair, be rescinded. So good news, I saw the photos, looks like a great repair, so we're happy to report that it could be removed and rescinded.
Motion to approve the order to rescind.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Mr. Luter also reported that it's on the market for $240,000, so it's great.
Okay. Letter B, order to rescind and release order to demolish property located at 2647 162nd Place, submitted for approval.
Yes, I received a call late yesterday, so I want to thank Linda for getting this release ready and on the agenda quickly. Gentleman wasn't happy that the lien still was on his property. It was a long conversation regarding the $409.80 that he owed from the original order. So I guess, one, I want to mention that it is effective that we put those numbers into our demo orders, because, you know, this is like, I don't know, 6 years later or something like that, that he ended up having to pay it. He did self-demo the property, so we probably should have, you know, honestly released it probably then, but we didn't. So anyway, he paid the fees. He's closing it in the property. He's selling it to his nephew, so I would ask that the order be signed as presented. And then Linda's going to send it to the title company this morning.
Motion to approve the order to rescind.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter C, deed of dedication for 96 Goslin Street, 134 Goslin Street, and 242 Goslin Street, submitted for approval.
Yes, I want to thank Mr. Button, our city engineer, for bringing these to the board. This is going to make right away along an area of Goslin between Sheffield and State Line. Is that fair, Dean? And this will allow the TDD project and the Gateway Station project to kind of continue. It's just it's a little more than a technical issue, but it allows correction of where the right-of-way is located so that we can get the property ready for future development there at the Gateway Station. I don't know if Dean had anything else to add. Okay. Yep.
Motion to approve deed of dedication.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And then I'd request those be, once they're signed, given to Linda for recording.
Okay. Letter D, funding allocation request form requesting $75,000 from 5th District Gaming Fund to be allocated for the Dowling Park, Trees, Pond, and Sled Hill. Yeah, and it's been signed by the council, the controller, and the mayor.
Motion to approve funding allocation request.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter E, right-of-way permit received from engineering, submitted for approval.
We have one, it's on Clinton. It's just a road patch due to a water main break. So it's for site services. They're licensed and bonded. So I would recommend approval.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
Motion to approve the right-of-way permit.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter F, garage sale permit submitted for approval. Looks like there's one on Columbia, 2 days. Yeah, we're good, yeah.
Motion to approve the garage sale permit.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Number 10, moving on to old business, letter A, Jimenez Auto.
Good morning. We are up again on the Jimenez Auto situation. I don't know. I thought Mr. Novak was going to be here. Let's see what he has to say. He just texted me. He said he's coming up. He's on his way up now. So, obviously, wow.
He's good. Yeah.
That was. I just said you were on your way up, and you opened the door.
Oh, there you go.
All right. So, what's happened since last time is I've asked the different city departments to kind of take a look at where we're at on the property, just so we could, obviously get the Jimenez's away from the Board of Public Works, let them work on their property, let them get back to work, and just make sure that we feel satisfied where we're at. So kind of listing the items that are sitting out there. One is the business license, okay? Obviously, they've applied for the business license. We've been here probably for, 2 years maybe? Does that sound right?
A while.
Okay. Slowly progressing, but recently progressing pretty well. And we need to resolve those late fees. So Mr. Bartholomew and I have been corresponding via email. I'm going to ask that the business license late fees be transferred to my firm so I can deal with them as a collection matter, and that'll allow me to have the ability to negotiate those. So that would be number one. I can tell you that the current, at least the calculation by Mr. Farrell, is in the range of about $20-some hundred. That's that issue. The second issue that we've brought up are Mr. Novak's findings. There is a parking plan on the lot, and it has been paved. Mr. Novak has a couple of findings that he's, I think 4 of them, that I've sent to Christian just last night. And I don't know, Tom, if you want to just summarize just briefly on what, I know the biggest one is the double parking. But.
Yeah, so I mean, these are all things that are resolvable, pretty easily. But yeah, I mean, the parking in the front along Calumet Avenue, there's supposed to be one row parking. They're kind of double parking now. It's kind of cutting over, it's cutting over into the drive aisle a little bit. So,
Tom, they're parking on Calumet Avenue?
No, I'm sorry. In the parking area that fronts along Calumet Avenue.
I see. Okay.
Because to be honest, we're not as concerned with stuff in the rear and out of sight. But this is the only access point to the site.
Gotcha.
So it's important that the drive aisle stays clear and that.
And it just is, I think, more for also aesthetic purposes, because, we've had some issues, and I don't, obviously I'm not blaming them for any issues we've had at other places, but we've had issues at other car lots. I can think of one in the 7,000 block of Calumet Avenue, in which they've not complied with the parking plan, and we've had to continually go after them and cite them, because truthfully, I would have preferred to have a fence up, right, just because it covers it.
Right.
But in some instances, it's not easy to do that. I would just want the Jimenezes to know that the city, is aware of wanting to make Calumet Avenue as sightly as possible, and having cars like all loaded up. Double parked isn't going to do that. So we want them to be aware of that and comply with the parking plan that they've submitted, which is, I think, in compliance, right, Tom? The parking plan.
Yeah, so it was, we went out yesterday, and Bill Luter and I, building inspector, and we saw that the new area was paved and striped. As far as we can tell, it looked correct. And then in the front area, the only other issue with the parking plan that we noticed was, there is a striped access aisle in the front parking area. Just make sure one of those spaces is ADA, so that's kind of a simple fix.
So that requires painting, I think, on that list that you sent.
Yeah, so I mean,
That's
paint.
the only one that needed actual.
You paint an
Blue
ADA.
paint.
Yeah. But besides that, the parking plan did seem
Was there
follow.
anything else, Tom?
I think, and also just, there was a little bit of double parking congestion in the back, but like we said, we're more concerned with the front area, so.
And then the other thing was just to enclose the dumpster, right?
Well, yeah, the dumpster, so we did notice that the dumpster was behind a parking area, behind the parking spaces on land that hadn't been paved, and it wasn't really enclosed. And there was some junk next to the dumpster as well. There is one photo showing that. But I mean, we kind of request that they think about where's the best dumpster placement as far as parking lot layout, and can they preferably get some kind of, 6-foot fence around it when they do get it situated. And if they're leaving it there, I mean, that's understandable, just some kind of enclosure.
So that's kind of where we're at. I'm sure Christian wants to respond and let the board know kind of the plan moving forward, so. Go ahead, he's gonna.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I really don't have a whole lot to add to that. I received Kevin's comments later yesterday evening, and I haven't really had the chance to extensively discuss them with my clients yet this morning. But I would note that of the items that were pointed out, 3 of 4 seem like things that, or 2 of 4 at least, seem like things where we can just move some cars and bring the property into compliance. As far as, the dumpster issue, again, if a fence or other enclosure would fix that, it doesn't seem like that onerous of a ask. And same goes for the painting of the parking spaces. So I'll talk to my clients about what we can do to bring those into compliance, and I don't know if you guys had any extra comments or questions for the time being.
Pues que, I don't know, esos parqueaderos de afuera es para trocas grandes, por eso ponemos dos, era para camiones grandes nomás, sí. Por eso pusimos dos, porque caben bien, no estorba a nadie, no estorba el camino, no nada, nomás eso dice.
Okay, yeah, he just says that the trucks, the spaces outside there double parked just because, you know, it's usually for big trucks or stuff like that. So in that area in the front,
I think those are cars, though.
yeah.
Yeah, there's mostly cars for sure. I mean, there is a couple trucks, but not anything oversized.
I mean, if you're going to put a truck up there, we understand that it just needs to be single parked, right? So there's not double parked.
Si son trocas, puedes poner una troca, pero nomás que tiene que ser una troca.
Especially
O sea, aunque esté
trucks to
grande o
cars.
lo que sea, el espacio es solamente para uno.
It's a safety issue, like for the fire department, and things
Dice
like that.
nomás por seguridad de
Sí, there's-
los bomberos y todo eso.
I'm thinking maybe, what I would think is that if we set this out maybe like 6 weeks, and as long as there's compliance, I don't even think the folks need to show up. I can get them a letter, or, you know, we could, Mr. Novak can get them a letter showing compliance. I'll work with Christian over the next several weeks to resolve the late fees on the building license, on our business license. And that way we give them time. I don't want to, you know, bring them back, haul them back in over paint, but as Mr. Kearney pointed out, it's probably the time to get the paint done before it gets too cold.
Right.
Because then you won't be able to put it down. And we'll be back here in March or something to find out if they painted. So if we could have like maybe a 6-week date, maybe in mid-December.
Is December 28th okay?
Maybe the 21st. Is that better?
Close the
We're
21st.
Like a half day.
We're closed. We're having a meeting the 21st. Okay, so
I can do the 28th.
28th, yeah, sure.
Especially if, I mean, they might not even have to be here, so.
Yep.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
thank you.
Motion to refer the business license matter to Smith Sursick for further, and I'll set this for status for December 28th of 2023.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter B, 5554 Walter Avenue.
Since Attorney Smith is going to handle that other situation, I did speak with the owner yesterday. There is a little bit of a cash holdup getting the last bit done. Contractor's got to get paid in order to finish that portion. If we could just set a status date for November 30th, which I believe is the last board hearing of the month. Yeah, we should be completed by then and able to rescind that order that day.
Okay.
Motion to set 5554 Walter for status on November 30th, 2023.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
What was the date? I didn't hear that.
November 30th.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Letter C, 4308 Grover Avenue.
Morning.
Good morning.
I have still had no correspondence from the owner. I reached out several times earlier in the week, and so what we're going to do right now is I will again attempt to reach out, but we'll continue this till 12/7, and at that time, if they have not reached out, we will just ask for a full removal order to be recorded rather than a deed restriction.
Sounds good.
Motion to set the matter for status for December 7th, 2023.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Letter D, request from Commander Ernie Dillon regarding the location of the Veterans Day tribute.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak before you regarding our Veterans Day program in American Legion Post 168 on the corner of 169th and Columbia. And we've chosen that site because we didn't think the one at the Memorial downtown Hammond at the American Legion Plaza would be ready enough in time. And so, because we had to move forward and get our program together, which I gave you a copy of, and a copy of the previous letter. And so our request still remains the same in terms of assistance. And we'd appreciate anything that you can do to help us. Basically, it's outlined in the letter that you have gotten previously, and so the podium, the chairs, and the little bleachers like you do each year would be placed in our parking lot. Our parking lot will be closed for parking because our police ceremony and veteran ceremonies will be happening in our American Legion parking lot. So basically, parking on Columbia, both sides, and there's room, and we've done that before, and maybe along 169th is what we're requesting. So it'd be between the hours of 9 a.m. and noon. So 3 hours, and then after the Veterans Day program, we have a fellowship inside. And this time we have a tribute to Buffalo soldiers and Tuskegee Airmen as part of our program, and representatives will be there to speak, just FYI. But everything's in the program and outlined. And since I spoke before, we had to get this done, make our decision, and get these out to everybody that's going to be participating.
Well, I think you made the right decision, Mr. Dillon, because that other, we couldn't be sure if that other property was going to be done or not, so.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, we understand. Is EMA going to be able to?
Yeah, I'll make sure we get somebody out there.
And we'll forward it to PD also for your assistance.
Okay. And I want to thank you for your service. I didn't know that you were
Thank you.
Air Force veteran?
No, Army National Guard.
What was it?
The Army National Guard.
Oh.
Yep,
I
thank
thought
you.
Air Force. No, I'm just joking. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. If there's no further questions, we'll just, someone will follow up with me about what to do and how to do what we need to do, and I bid you adieu.
Absolutely. Thank you,
Thank you,
Mr. Dillon.
sir.
Thank you for your service, too.
Yeah, thank you to each of the board members.
Motion to approve Mr. Dillon's request and to refer to PD, Parks, and Public Works for follow-up.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Number 11 is rental registration hearings. There are none. Number 12, the meeting's open to the public. Chris, this is your time to shine. Nothing?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.